Shore as well, so please get in the queue. And our first question comes from Sam Gordon with the Review-Journal.
First and foremost, congratulations on the victory. What tactically did you see? What vulnerabilities did you see in Lomachenko tonight that you guys were able to exploit going into the fight?
From the beginning, I had told him, keep your composure. Hit, don't get hit. We got this thing that we call the pyramid. And basically, it's like it goes like into an angle where you could touch the fighter can touch you. When I seen Lomachenko having a hard time with that, I knew that we was going to win this fight. Right away I found out. I got to give a lot of respect to Lomachenko for taking those big shots, early on into the fight. And he wanted to win. He just couldn't figure out my son. My son was a better man today. We did something that everybody thought we couldn't do. We outboxed him. We gave him a clinic, and I'm just so glad, man, that everything that I said, came into existence.
Keith Idec, you're next.
Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you.
Welcome. Lomachenko came back a little bit in the second half of the fight. He mounted a comeback, and he was much more aggressive in the second half. Was there any concern on your part that he was winning rounds at that point, or did you feel heading down the stretch that you were ahead?
I really didn't see him winning any rounds because to me, my son was hitting with the biggest shots. He was playing dirty in there. He was trying to headbutt him. He headbutted him a lot of times in his eyes. And I was telling him, listen, man, you don't let this guy keep on going because he's going to end up cutting you. I told him that like around the 8th round, and it came to happen, he got desperate because he knew that he could only win by knockout.
Did you tell your son to, for lack of better words, fight dirty back? Because it seemed like Lomachenko was hitting him on the break and headbutting him and everything. Did you tell him to kind of give it back to him a little bit, or how did you go? No,
I just told him that he had to be tougher, try to keep away from him, stay composed, move around, because he's a great boxer, his whole 170 amateur fights was boxing, and we needed that today. We show the world that my son is not only a puncher, like I said before, we just made the best boxer in the world look like nothing, so we here to stay for a long time. This kid's only 23. We're making history, man. He's the first one to win 4 belts at the 135-pound division and the first one to unify so young.
Thank you, Keith. Next, we go to Kevin Ioli from Yahoo. Kevin, please go ahead.
Teofimo, just curious, in the early part of the fight, Vasily wasn't even throwing any punches at all. Do you think that was because of what was coming at him and that he couldn't fire back because the power was too much for him?
No, it was because of the pyramid. Like I said, we could hit you, but you can't hit us. And if you try to get in, you're going to pay for it. So he couldn't understand that style. And it was too late when he, try to figure it out. Then he just went for broke. That's what I saw in him. He said, what the hell? I don't want to lose. So that's why he started going crazy, going inside with his head under, hitting my son with those shots to the head. With his head, and he was just trying to make the fight dirty, but my son stood composed, and that's what true champions do, and it was an amazing fight. I knew that once we adapted to him, the fight was over.
And I know this isn't your call, but I'm just curious what you think. Where do you want to see Teofimo go next? Do you want to see him try to reel off some runs of defenses in this division, or do you think, that there's other titles? He's a big kid that maybe, have him move up and at some point and chase another championship.
Yeah, he's been. If it wasn't for these people that are helping us now, perfecting athletes, I don't think he would have been able to make the weight so comfortably. I think it's time to move up. I think it's time for him to go and try to get all the belts at the 140-pound division. There's no reason why we have to stay at 135 unless they give us something to want to fight for, So it all depends. But I'd rather him go to 140. He's been suffering at this weight for like 7 years already.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we go to our first Zoom question of the evening. Michael Woods, please go ahead.
Hey, Junior Teofimo Sr., full credit to you. I don't know exactly the history of Nostradamus, but I'm guessing that Nostradamus got a lot of shit when he was saying his stuff and people didn't believe him. So full credit to you. You guys talked a lot of stuff for a lot of years, but you backed every bit of it up. So props to you, man. You're a little bit, Brooklyn style, and it rubs people a certain way, but props to you. I got to ask you, do you think Lomachenko deserves a rematch? If he says, hey, I want to do this again, would you say, yeah, let's give that guy the opportunity to try again?
I mean, if the fight would have been closer, maybe, I wore my lucky hat today. I was going to put the only Ramirez hat, my son's friend that had passed away. But I told my son, you know what, I'll put the shirt on and I want to go in there with my Nostradamus hat. I felt like I think I made the right decision of wearing this hat, because we've been winning a lot of fights like this. I was not nervous at all. I was anxious. I was very anxious the whole day today. I just wanted it to be over with. I just wanted to shut everybody up. And I knew it. My son has always been with me. I know what he could do. I know what he cannot do. So from now on, I just don't want nobody to doubt him no more. He has suffered so much. Like, he never gets what he deserves. Let's see what happens now.
Thank you for that doctoral dissertation, Michael. Next, we go to Sean Sattel.
Hey, Teofimo, congrats for your son, man. Great performance. Did anything surprise you about this fight? I mean, you've called it for a few years now. Anything surprise you tonight?
Of course not. I know what I got. I didn't start it when I said we're going to beat this guy up. The only thing that I was surprised was he took those shots really good, and I got to give it up to Lomachenko. He's a strong fighter. That's why he's got 2 gold medals, 400 fights. The guy has been there with everybody's style, but he never fought a guy like my son. Out of those 400 and something fights that he had, my son, had the kryptonite for him, and tonight we showed it.
Thank you very much. And next we go to Mike Coppinger from The Athletic.
Congratulations. It's funny, right? Everyone knows you as a guy who's really excitable, and I've never seen you this composed. Are you finding clarity?
Listen, when I got Lomachenko, I don't need to do all that stuff, that nonsense. I wanted him. Once I got him, that's it. It's over. I wanted him in the ring. I wanted the opportunity, and God gave it to me. I knew that. That's why I knew we was going to be successful, because what we went through to get this fight is almost impossible.
It's been well documented how much you've gone through, how much you've sacrificed, all the turmoil. Is it all worth it now, everything you've sacrificed to be here at this moment, undisputed lightweight champion?
Man, I'll do it again. I have no regrets. I'm happy to get my son to where we wanted to go. And this is just the beginning. I know my son, he's not content yet. He wants to do better, bigger things. He wants to be pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And he's going to be pound for pound real soon.
And you mentioned 140 pounds. There's a lot of guys at 135 that are close to moving up as well. Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, even Gervonta Davis, could be at 140 in the future, I suppose. What do you think is going to be the mega fight for Teofimo Lopez in the future?
All of them. But these guys, they gotta do their thing. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing our thing. We don't go backwards. I told my son, we're not in the sport to go backwards. So these kids, they gotta do their thing, so they could come up to us and step up to the plate. I don't want none of them losing, because those are mega fights.
Hey, but look, you're wearing the hat, Nostradamus. Pick one fight. What is the mega fight in the sport? Teofimo Lopez versus who in a couple of years or next year?
I don't know. Devin Haney. Let's say Devin Haney.
Thank you, Mike. And we go back to our Zoom calls. Marcos Villegas from Fight Hub TV. Marcos, please go ahead.
Thanks, Evan. Congratulations, senior. I think all of us that have interacted with you remember you telling us that your son would beat Lomachenko 2-3 years ago whenever we would see you at the fights. Curious, in terms of the game plan, what previous fights did you see vulnerabilities in Vasily Lomachenko with what you were explaining with?
Well, I saw all the fights with Pedraza, Linares, and I saw something with Lomachenko every time he stepped in to the sides. He couldn't do that with my son because my son had him like double stepping back and he couldn't go to that side the whole night. We took that away from him. From the moment that I knew he couldn't do that, I knew that we had him, you know. We just we stopped him from doing everything that he's comfortable in there with, you know. He's used to fighting fighters that have their hands up, you know, so it's easier for him to get inside the pocket and do his work. So I was watching a lot of videos. Every time he would jump in, I told my son, you got to hurt him to the body. You got to hurt him to the body. And we stood chasing the body the whole night, you know. And I think that hurt, you know, he was hurt a lot of times. A lot of times he was ready to go, you know. I think my son could have finished him. He decided not to, but I like it because, you know, he gave him a whooping. And that's what we said that we was going to do.
Thank you, Marcos. Just a reminder, anybody wants to ask a question in the Zoom, please use the raise hand mechanism on the Zoom chat, and I will get to as many people as possible. Teofimo Jr. should be joining us soon, but while we wait, we have a couple more questions for the trainer, the father. Hold on one second.
I told you, Kevin, a long time ago. My son was the best in the world. I remember.
Next, we go to Miguel Maravilla. Miguel, please go ahead.
Hey, first of all, Senior, congratulations, man. Was there any concern going in late to the fight? Was there any concern as far as before the scorecards were read, you know, being that Vegas is Vegas?
Yeah, man, but it was a shout out. You know, it was like there was no way we could have got robbed with this fight. You know, even though they had it 116, 112, one of the cards, I thought that was ridiculous. You know, I think the right score was 119, 110. I could give him that. You know, I think that judge was watching the fight that, you know, that he was, you know, the fight that we had today. I think that he had the best score, you know, but no, not at all. Not at all. I wasn't.
Okay, next we go back to the press assembled here in the press room. Sam Gordon, Review Journal. Sam, please go ahead when ready.
As clinical of a performance as you guys put forth tonight, was there anything that, you know, moving forward, you think he can build upon or do better? Anything that you thought that, I guess, any mistakes that you felt that were made that you guys can improve on going forward?
Oh, a lot. We got to improve way more. You know, there's a lot of things that he didn't listen to me in there. A lot of stuff that I want him to do more that's going to make his fights easier. And we're going to work on it, you know. Next camp, you know, I'm just going to, I have to make him do the things that I tell him to do, you know, because there was times in there that he had him. And I would tell him to shift, you know, that's something that we do to finish the fighter. And he had so many opportunities to do it, but he decided not to. But anyway, I'm happy because he gave this guy a beating, you know. He's going to feel it tomorrow.
So the score that you thought was the closest, you mean 119, 109 because it was a
woman? Oh, it was 109? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 119, 109, but it was a woman, you said. I just wanted to make sure. Julie Letterman was
she's the one that got it right. You know, I thought that we were so much ahead in the fight. I mean, going into the 8th round, I told him, yo, you won every round. This guy could only stop you by knocking you out. So just be careful, stay composed. You know, he's going to try to take you to deep waters, you know, so just be careful, you know, and watch your head because he's trying to hit you with his head. You know, he's trying to, you know, headbutt you. So just be careful, you know, and I told him, you know, you're going to get cut. This guy's going to cut you, you know, let's take him out, man. Take him out. Don't let him do that to you. And it happened, you know, but it's okay. You know, I'm happy. It's the best way we could have won. It's better than knocking this guy out because now the world knows that this kid's the best boxer out there and puncher.
And next we go back to Zoom with Steve Kim. Steve, I know you have something to say to Senior. Steve, please go ahead.
Tio, what's going on?
I told you, baby, the takeover.
Yeah, I have a question. 2 questions. Number one, how much vindication do you feel over this victory?
Man, I'm 100%, man. Vindication. I mean, I started this with my son, with nobody around me. He was a little kid. He was only 4 years old when I started this mission. You know, it took us a long time, 18 years, man, but we're here. I'm so happy. I don't know I have no words to explain, man. I was walking around and I was like trying to pinch myself, make believe like, am I dreaming, man? Don't wake up. You know, I was so excited. But yeah, man, I feel really happy for accomplishing this, but this is only the beginning.
And Teo, my other question is this. I know the last couple of camps, you guys have gone away to Flemington, New Jersey. And I know your son has said it's more structured. And you guys have your own private camp. It's not like when I visited you guys last summer, which was a little bit crazy. In your view, how much of a difference has that made going to camp where he wants to be and you're both comfortable?
Oh, man, Flemington is beautiful. All dog boxing, you know, it's an amazing gym, amazing people. Bill, everybody there, the whole staff, Heidi, his wife, everybody was taking care of us, making sure that everything was there, equipment, everything clean, sanitized. So we had a great camp, and, we might do it again over there. You never know.
All right, Teo, thanks. By the way, I think you're going to sleep with that WBC belt on tonight. That's the feeling that I'm getting.
Yo,
good night,
about
guys.
Time, man. By time, man. How long did I wait for this? Everybody about Papachenko here, Papachenko there. I told everybody, all that stuff that they do, man, is just to hype everybody up. I already knew it. So, as long as I know it, I don't care who says what. But now, I just want Papachenko to go back to Ukraine and give his son a couple more dance lessons.
Thanks, guys.
We got a couple more for Senior. And we move to Cameron Wolfe from ESPN.com. Cameron, please go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man? I had a question. I mean, there was a lot said in the Blood and Sweat series about your relationship with Teo. He got emotional at one point. I wanted to get your view on maybe that and what your relationship with him is and maybe how this win could help that.
Well, listen, man, if it would have been the other way around, it would have been Lomachenko and his father, nobody would have said nothing. I mean, everybody's not going to be in love with each other, every day. People have problems, and me and my son fixed these problems. I'm over here with him and his wife. Everybody's getting along. I got to do it for him because this is all about him. It's not about nobody else. So, I got to man up and I got to take my responsibilities to love what he loves, and make him be happy. He deserves it. He went through a lot to get here with me, and that's the only way to do it. You got to stay focused. And he did that today. And of course not, man. Me and my son love each other. That's my baby.
Thank you, Cameron. And we go to Adriana Jimenez. Adriana, please go ahead.
Hola, Teofimo, te puedo preguntar en español. Después
sí, claro.
de varios años, hay un campeón centroamericano, tu hijo poniendo en alto el nombre del boxeo latinoamericano, centroamericano. ¿Cómo te sientes acerca de eso? Y sobre todo sobre esa historia de vida que tienen ustedes después de que tú llegaste a Estados Unidos.
Bueno, bien orgulloso porque él fue el primer campeón mundial de Honduras al ganar la IBF. Y yo sabía que nos faltaba más cosas que hacer y por eso vinimos a buscar todos los cinturones con el mejor boxeador del mundo y le enseñamos a la gente que mi hijo es el mejor. Siempre me gusta la competición, siempre me gusta pelear con los mejores. Me gusta que mi hijo pelee con los mejores siempre y por eso es que nosotros estamos haciendo cosas grandes para toda Latinoamérica, especialmente para Honduras. Y claro que sí, vienen cosas bien grandes, vienen muchas esperanzas. ¿Cuántos muchachos ahora mismo en Honduras quisieran ser como mi hijo? Estamos abriendo las puertas para muchas personas y vamos a trabajar en eso, vamos a trabajar en abrir escuelas de boxeo en Honduras, ayudar a la juventud que está perdida allá. Yo estoy más que seguro que debe existir otro Teofimo Lopez en Honduras.
Sorry, that was Andrea Yanez, and next is Adriana Jimenez. Adriana, go ahead.
Thank you. Senior, first of all, congratulations on making history tonight. You know, tonight we saw a different side of your son, a side that we're not used to seeing that often. Can you talk a little bit about that and you know, what does that say about him to be able to keep that mental focus from the beginning to the end?
Well, he's been saying this for the longest. He's been saying I was a boxer before I was even a puncher. So, you know, I told him, you know, the most beautiful thing would be if you box the shit out of this guy. You know, sorry for my language, but I told him, you know, it would be amazing if you don't knock him out and you just box him and beat him in every round. It will be amazing. I mean, I could not believe the punches this guy was taking. I mean, it's just, I hope he's okay, you know, tomorrow, because those were devastating punches. Anybody else would have been down on the floor.
Thank you, Adriana. I've just been told that. Thank you guys. I've just been told that Teofimo Lopez is about a minute or two away. Kevin,
clarify something you said, Teofimo. You were talking about the headbutts. Do you think he was using that as a tactic, or do you think it was because of the difference in height of the fighters?
Of course not. He does that, and that's why we told the officials before the fight to watch him, because I peeped that in the Linares fights and almost all the fights, and he usually does that when he's a little bit frustrated, you know. And he was gunning for it. He was gunning for it. He wanted to cut him. He wanted to shirt. You know, he wanted to make him uncomfortable in there, but it didn't work. My son always stays composed, so I knew that wasn't working. I didn't even get nervous, you know. But there was some times there that he would walk in and start throwing the little patty cake punches. And it got me a little bit worried with my son, you know, because I didn't know whether he was going to be able to absorb all those headbutts, you know, and that's why I wanted him to take him out in the earlier rounds, because I told him, listen, this guy's going to cut you. I don't want him to cut you. I don't want him to hurt you with the headbutts. And we just, you know, he stood composed, man, the whole fight, and we outclassed this guy. You know, that's why I don't want no rematch. There's no rematch clause. You know, for the same reason. Everybody thought he was going to win.
Thank you, Kevin. I've just been told Teofimo's about a minute away. So, Senior, come on down. You can, when Junior arrives, you can come back on the stage to share the moment with your son. So just everybody wait around a couple of minutes, and the new Undisputed Lightweight Champion of the World.
I just want to say thank you for, you know, for being here for me and my son, you know, especially my son, and there's bigger things to come, you know, and I really like the support. Thank you for everything, guys.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for holding up the, we got to get had some stitches going. So please welcome to the stage the new Undisputed Lightweight Champion of the world, and by far the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era at only 23 years old, Teofimo Lopez of the Takeover, again on the Zoom call. I think I should be a ring announcer in my next life, but Mark Chinook's too good, so I ain't taking his job. We got some questions from the press up here. We will start with the man who named Teofimo a 2-time prospect of the year, Kevin Ioli. Kevin, please go ahead.
Congratulations, champ.
Thank you.
Were you happier the fact that you were able to outbox Vasily, where everybody talked about what a great boxer he was, as opposed to, landing something big in the first or second round and knocking him out? Do you feel you proved more of a point by going 12 rounds and outboxing him most of the way?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you guys for coming out here, and for everyone tuning in right now. I'm thankful. What I noticed from Loma, I was trying to press. I was trying to make the fight, and I noticed in the beginning of the rounds, he was just trying to warm up and try to adapt. And what I noticed afterwards, I picked up, was that he was just trying to wait to the later rounds to come and press at me. So my father, who is my coach, and he does a tremendous amount of work on me, and Joey Gamache alongside, he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm staying composed because I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to take me to deep waters. So I had to keep that extra win for the later rounds.
Now that the takeover is complete, what is phase 2? Because the takeover is done. You have taken over. What is the next step in this?
We're going to Disney World. Honestly, man, I'm just very, we see where everything takes us from this point on. You know what I mean? I earned my damn respect. That's what I think that I did, at 23 years young. I think now people could definitely, who is this? This is Teofimo, the takeover.
Fimo, congratulations on the big win.
Yep.
There were a lot of clashes of heads, and it looked like at times that maybe he was leading with his head. You had a big cut over your left eye from it.
I know. Man.
What were you feeling in there? Did you feel like he was doing it on purpose, or?
Yeah, a lot of it is that we were talking to Russell, right? The referee, and we told him that just to watch over for the headbutts that Loma likes to tend to. When he goes inside, he'll lift his forehead. He'll lift his big ass forehead. But shit happens. This is part of the sport. You're gonna get into war sometimes. So my father told me in the last round to box him, and I knew that wasn't a smart idea, because I knew he was gonna come. And the moment I stood my ground and I started pressing him back, he gave up. That was really what it is. He literally gave up, and I saw it in his eyes. But then the cut happened. Thankfully, it happened in the last round, 20 seconds or 30 seconds left in it. That way we were just able to finish off.
Yeah, and also, you made it look so easy over the first half of that fight. Obviously, the second half, fighting over the second half. Does it mean more that you won the title in such an action-packed fight?
I don't even know what I did, honestly, man. I just wanted to stay composed throughout the whole course of it. Just keep him from not throwing so many punches. I knew that was his thing, and we had to make sure that we close that gap, or we find a way to at least keep throwing that stick, keep him away. And every time he was throwing his shots, I would allow him, because what I was trying to do, and what I did successfully in a few times, was counter him and hurt him a few times. And I think he noticed that. He stepped back, he calmed down a little bit. He wanted to try again, but I was ready for it.
Congratulations, Teofimo. There was a lot said between you guys toward the build-up and over the last couple of years about each other.
Yeah.
Did he say anything respectfully toward you, or anything at all toward you after the fight?
No, not at all. I went up to him. I said to his father, Papachenko, I was like, great fighter. Thank you for the work. Thank you, guys. And I told Loma, I'm sorry. Overall, I'm sorry, but we got the job done. You know what I mean? And I knew I won. I knew I won the fight. And he just smiled and laughed. But that's on his side, I fought people, what they say was the pound for pound, and I outboxed him. I won every round, or at least most of the rounds, to win it by unanimous decision. I'm thankful, man. 23 years old, man. But that's a true champion right there. Loma was a hell of a fighter. He knows what he's doing, but his time is over. I told you guys. I mean, I'm smart when I'm in there. I'm gonna take bumps and bruises. I mean, that's part of it. Hey, shit happens. Like I said, this is the boxing world. And I know what comes with it. So I dig down deep in those last rounds for a reason.
I'm assuming I know the answer to this question, but just to be clear, if he wanted a rematch, would you entertain that at all?
For what? For what? I beat him, and I did everything that I had to beat him. If anything, it'll happen again, the same thing. There was no rematch clause for a reason. They had it. Now I can talk my shit. They had it pretty much where they didn't give me a rematch clause for a reason, and they gave me a contract on the side to pretty much say, like, if you lose, this is what you're gonna get for your next fights. Pretty much predicting that I'm gonna lose. So it's fine. Now, they just gotta eat it up, suck it up, and now it's time for us to take over and move forward. That's it. I told y'all, man. Out with the old, in with the new.
So I have one last question for you. Your dad said a few minutes ago that he would like to see you move up to 140 because it's not easy for you to make 135. What is your opinion?
Honestly, throughout this pandemic, the layoff and everything, of course, it's different. I'm a big 135 pounder. You know what I mean? Perfecting athletes who are my nutritionists, they definitely do their work and their math on me. And it's not even just dropping weight drastically. It's about making sure that my brain is fine and perfectly in good condition to make that weight. So I know I can make 135 again. That won't be an issue. You know what I mean? As long as I stay consistent with everything. That's why, I'm building a house now with my wife, and I'm very thankful for that. We've been doing it throughout the process of this fight, just so I could have that in my gym. I can have a gym in my house and stay consistent with my work. Who knows what the future holds? I would love to definitely unify at 140 and take all the belts and become undisputed champion back to back. Hell yeah.
And one more for Mike.
You mentioned 140. Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez are supposed to fight for all 4 belts at 140 early next year. Yep. Could that maybe be a fight for you? You fight the winner and you go for undisputed back to back?
Absolutely. I think everybody was shook with Loma, and people have too much respect for him. I think they see that I just bite down and I put the fight, and I press on it. I don't duck or dodge any of these guys, and I think that they don't got the will to win like I do. So hell yeah, 140. If anything, it's dangerous for them, man, because that's when I'm really fully hydrated. I feel much better, and I'm faster and I'm stronger than them.
It was certainly a great performance. Loma is a great fighter. Yeah. How much better are you going to be now than you were before, having gone 12 rounds with a guy like Loma? And
man, I learned from this. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna go back to the drawing boards and get only better. You know what I mean? And that's the whole key about it. Fighting these guys, man, they only make me better. And I'm thankful to have the likes of Lomachenko and everything to be in the ring with them and actually pick up and learn what they got and just take it in and just work on being better for the next fight.
And, I know you have the utmost confidence in your ability, but was there anything you learned about yourself during this performance?
No, not at all. Honestly, I let him press here and there. I wanted him to get tired. And I took some blows or whatever. I took some shots. They're not going to be effective as much. You know what I mean? And the thing was, because I'm going to get one of those shots in or 2 of those shots in, and it's going to hurt him. It's going to slowly get him. And that's what it was. The thing is, guys, I could take a shot. And the thing is that I don't care. If I get hit, I'm going to give you one back, if not more. So that's just my fighter in me,
Thank you, Mike. We go to our first Zoom question, Cameron Wolfe, ESPN.com.
Hey, what's up, Tio? How you doing, man? I heard you talk. I heard you talk. Nah, go ahead, take your water. I heard you talk a little bit about, obviously you being 23 and sort of getting this title at this point. A lot of times boxing gets criticism because, people wait so long for the mega fights to happen. Do you anticipate being a champion that fights those mega fights, when they need to happen rather than wait?
Absolutely. I mean, that's how it should be. That's why this new generation, I mean, you have the likes of Shakur Stevenson, you have the likes of Jerome Boots Ennis, you have the likes of so many other guys out there, young fighters. I have a list that I could give off of and that I grew up with in the amateurs. And the fact is that this is the new generation. We're bringing back what the old school was, fight the best, and you push on it. I'm not here to pick and choose who I want to fight because I want to defend my title and keep that. No, nah. And now who knows where my figures are going to go up, if they're going to go up after this. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone wants to be like Mayweather. In order to be like Mayweather, you got to be like Pretty Boy first. You got to fight those guys that they don't think that you'll win. You got to fight the likes of those guys that are undefeated and is a good fight in order to make those type of millions that people want to make. Why are you buying so many chains and all this at an early age? You're not making nothing. You're not making not a dollar. So, I mean, I'm just thankful that I'm able to be the first one to do that and push for the young ones out there.
And next we go to another Zoom question from the man who coined the term the Teofimo Express, Steve Kim. Steve, please go ahead.
Teo, congratulations on the victory. Here's my question. I asked this of your father. How key has training camp in Flemington been for you the last 2 fights?
It's been amazing. It's been remarkable. Shout out to Old Dog Boxing Club. I mean, to Heidi and Bill, thank you guys so much for having another successful camp out there in New Jersey. I mean, it's been tremendous. It's very calm out there, but now it's a new thing. Next year, hopefully, God willing, our house will be done, and I'm gonna have my gym in there, and that'll be my new training facility, pretty much. And who knows, man? Start a family, with my wife and everything. So, just taking everything one day at a time. Taking this in right now, and by tomorrow, we figure out something else. On to the next.
Thank you, Steve. And we go next to Michelle Phelps. Michelle, please go ahead.
Hi, Teofimo. Congratulations, first and foremost. Now that you've shared the ring with Loma, was it what you expected, or did you expect something different from him?
I expected more. A lot of people were talking highly about him, and I expected more, but basic. It was pretty basic, honestly, overall. And I think it was just maybe it was a 14-month layoff that did it. I don't know. But I had 10 months layoff, so why does it matter, But I fought the guy that everybody says is the pound for pound, and everyone is very highly talked about. He's gonna be inducted to the Hall of Fame for doing one thing: 3-time fastest, 3-time weight division champion, along with Clarissa Shields. But that's it, everybody's always going to remember this fight with me. You know what I mean? About Lomachenko, man. We talk the talk and we walk the walk. That's what I do, man. My father just doesn't talk shit just to talk shit. You know what I mean? He believes in my abilities. I'm smart when I'm in there, and I peeped a lot of things. But, facing someone like that and doing what I did, you guys haven't seen anything yet.
Wait, who would you like to fight at? Obviously some attractive options there at lightweight. Who would you like to fight the most?
I don't mind being the 2-time email world champion. You know what I mean? That'll be fine. I know a lot of people are already saying that this is not for Undisputed because of that. Whatever with Mauricio Suleiman and whatever he did, but I just got a belt that said franchise world champion. So from the WBC, and you got a guy like Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, a washed out Gamboa, just for a record that he wants to keep it safe and pretty. I can fight those guys. I don't mind it.
Do you think Haney would fight you next, assuming he beats Gamboa?
I don't care. I don't think any of these guys will step up to the plate. And if they do, they better be ready. Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose.
Thank
like
you.
Loma.
Thank you, Keith, and Teofimo will find.
Evan, why are you so sad? I know you was Team Loma, but now you could be Takeover.
I'm a top-ranking
Teofimo Express. What up? Say it.
But Teofimo, you said email champion. Is it Hotmail or Gmail? I'm not sure. Next, we go to Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, please go ahead.
Hi, Teofimo. Congratulations on an excellent win.
Thank you.
As far as the way that Loma fought you, at least in the early going, did that surprise you at all that he wasn't throwing as many punches as usual? I don't think he threw more than 20 punches until round 7. Did that surprise you at all?
No, it didn't surprise me. The only thing that I noticed from it was that I picked up that he's trying to take me to the later rounds and he's trying to just stay on his toes. He thinks that I'm gonna gas out. And a lot of the guys that do that, man, they end up failing from it. They thought that, he thought that will work for him. I'm a young cat. Yes, I am. But I told you, I'm a shark. I go out there, you take me to deep waters, it's going to reverse back on y'all. And if you ain't know now you know. you know, and that's what it comes to. I mean, the fact that it's hard, and I'm sorry for everyone out there, it's hard facing fighters like this that don't give you guys the excitement that I want to bring to you guys. I can only do my part, and that's about it, you know. And whoever I'm facing on that other side of the ring is what I could do. You know, it's tough when you facing somebody like the likes of Loma and doing things like that in the beginning of half the fight, you know, the half of the rounds and everything. So, but I'm happy and I'm lucky that, you know, and I'm thankful that we got the job done.
One more, Jeremy.
During the end, or at least towards the end of the fight, how fatigued were you feeling? Did you feel relatively fresh at that point? Was there any point where you felt like you needed a second wind to kick in?
No, I felt good. Overall, I just, what I did was I baited him in to get that. He tried to take me to the deep waters, and what I did, I reversed it on him by letting him tee off, whatever, and let him get comfortable, but let him get tired. I started hearing him huff and puff. Little by little, I started realizing he was gassing out. And every time we sat down in the corner, he would take big, deep breaths. And I noticed that. I always look at my opponent and seeing what they do once they sit down for the next round. And I noticed that with him. So I stood composed. That was my whole thing. In order to do what you got to do, I have that second win. I have all of that already lined up. I have that third win if I need to. So I was 2 steps ahead of Lomachenko. That's what it came to. And that's what made me win the fight tonight.
Thank you. Only a few more questions left. The champ wants to get back to celebrate with his family, but we have a few more questions, and we will move. So one question each from now on, so we can get to as many people as possible. Sean Zattel, you're up next. Sean, go ahead.
Fight hype.
Hey, Teofimo. Congratulations, Teo. Hey, man, real quick, too, we got Sean Porter. Very proud of you as well. Watched the fight tonight.
Absolutely.
So, but Teo, you know, you mentioned Devin after the fight. Great performance. Is that a fight that you want at 135, or does that deserve a build-up to it being a mega fight at 140 or even 147?
If I take that fight, it's just for bragging rights, just to shut him up and destroy his career. That's really what it is. I don't care. That's the type of person I am. I ain't here to. I'm not here to see another fighter build up his career. If he wants to take that step and fight, I'm more than happy to just take him out that route of what everybody's talking about, saying the next Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit. And for everyone else out there, man, everybody's is cherry picking. Gervonta Davis, why are you fighting Leo Santa Cruz? For what? That's a 130 pounder or a 126 pounder. That's sad, man. And you guys hype these guys up for so many things, but it's okay. It's okay. Just put them in front of me and I'll beat them.
And next up, we go to ESPN Deportes, Salvador Rodriguez. Salvador, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ivan. I want to ask in Spanish for el nuevo campeón, Teo. ¿Cómo estás, Teo? Fue la noche que soñabas, fue tal como lo esperabas, convertirte en campeón indisputado, en posiblemente, seguramente hacer el ranking libra por libra. ¿Fue lo que esperabas? ¿Y cuál es el impacto, el significado de esto para el boxeo de Latinoamérica, en especial para tu Honduras?
Me siento muy orgulloso de eso, que ya nosotros lo hicimos, mi trabajo, que eso fue ganando todos los títulos en mi peso, para toda mi gente de Honduras, toda mi gente de mis latinos, México, a todos. Ahora estamos tratando a ganar más títulos en 140. Si Dios quiere, si José Ramírez quiere pelear conmigo o Josh Taylor, podemos, if one of them win, you know, eso puede hacer una gran pelea en 140.
Thank you, Salvador. And next, well, since he's from the UK, it's God knows what hour of the night/morning. Jonathan Nagyoff. Jonathan, go ahead.
Hey, Teofimo, John here from Pro Boxing Fans. It's 7 a.m. here. Congratulations, man. A lot of people were saying, obviously, before the fight, and will continue to say that Lomachenko is one of, if not the pound-for-pound best in the world. With the performance you put in tonight, where do you think that ranks you now?
Top 10. I'll be in the top 10. It's fine with me. I'm okay with that. We still got a lot more to do, you know, and there's so much more that I want to accomplish. This is just the beginning. you know, I'm not satisfied with this. I definitely want to collect more. And I'm just going to enjoy today, take it all in. And when I go to sleep and I wake up, you know, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. You know, what's next at task that I should, that I can achieve and overcome. By the way, good morning. And thank you for staying up this early or this late to talk to me. I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there in the UK and all that. Eventually, hopefully, if once COVID is done with, or we could have those travel bans out of the way, we could make a fight happen in the UK.
Okay, next we have Cameron Wolfe.
Hey, Teofimo, like just kind of listen to you talk. I know you probably want to have sort of the star power. What do you sort of think about your crossover potential, the ability to be maybe a star, not just in boxing, but, you know, throughout all of sports?
You know, a lot of people were talking about that. You know, my team, everybody throughout this whole week was talking about the fact that, you know, I'm going to be a big superstar after winning and beating him. I didn't listen to that. The same thing, you know, I was promised a lot of things endorsement-wise and everything after beating Coleman, becoming world champion, winning my first world title at Madison Square Garden. So I don't think anybody's going to tune in on that. I don't think anybody wants to sponsor me, man. It's fine, though. You know what I mean? I'm going to say that. If it comes, it comes, and I'm thankful for it. I don't know why, man. I don't know. Am I doing something wrong? I feel like that's probably what I'm doing. I'm doing something wrong. But it's okay.
Okay, we're still waiting for Evan to come back and get a couple more questions. Theo, you said
nobody gives me my fair share. I don't know why.
You said
man.
you were.
I've been dealing with this shit for so long.
You told me a couple years ago you were gonna beat Lomachenko. You did it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff. Claro.
Teofimo, buenas noches y felicidades. Deportivamente, esto es lo más grande que le ha pasado a Honduras. La gente en Honduras que no tiene esperanza, que sufre tanto, que hay tanta pobreza, tantas cosas malas, hoy se olvidó de todo esto, gracias a ti, y celebran y están detrás de ti, porque ahora nuestro país tiene un campeón mundial. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Muy feliz y muy orgulloso que nosotros ya hicimos algo muy grande, ganando mi primer título contra Richard Comey en Madison Square Garden. Eso fue para toda mi gente de Honduras. Ahora, pero pandemia hit. Now we come back with 4 or 5 titles. Pero la cosa es que esa es mi cosa que yo estoy tratando de hacer ahora, es que hacer es la esperanza para toda mi gente allá, todos mis latinos, porque eso es más, para mí eso es la cosa que muy importante. It's just important to me. You know, todo esto que yo estoy haciendo ahora es para yo pueda ayudar a toda mi gente allá, todos mis latinos y con tiempo vamos a hacerlo.
Translation is I feel very proud of this moment. You know, the first time around in December, we did it for Honduras, and we were supposed to go before the pandemic hit. But now we're coming back to bring more joy and more happiness to my people. We bring in all the belts. And this is very important to me because this is what really matters to me, bringing joy and happiness to my country.
Why is that though? Can I ask you guys that? Why is it? I do all that I can. No one gives me my fair share. When is it going to be enough for y'all? Honestly, I do a lot. I do a lot. It's like, it ain't even enough. And you know why? And that's why nothing in life is promised. I don't take this and I let it get to my head. I'm on to the next. This isn't enough for me because you know why? I thank you all for that. And no. You know, and it's, but you guys made me stronger. USA Boxing has made me stronger from winning the U.S. Olympic trials, Rio Olympics, when they did so much corruption shit on us. They made me stronger. Coming into the pros, you guys have made me stronger. So I thank you for it. But understand this, I'm tired of the shit. Give me my damn respect. That's it. All right. And I thank you guys. I'm going to end it with that. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. But come on, man. Give me a break, yo.